This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Vandals cut Flow's fiber optic cables, thousands without service in St. Ann. Vandals have severed Flow Jamaica's fiber optic cables in St. Ann, disrupting the communication and entertainment firm's services to its customers in sections of Oterious, St. Anne's Bay, Runaway Bay, Discovery Bay, and its environs. Flow, in a statement Saturday afternoon, said the incident occurred between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. It said broadband, video, and fixed voice services of over 5,000 customers in the area's residential, resort, and commercial communities have been impacted. While this includes financial institutions, as well as hotels and other tourism interests, the company has already redirected the network traffic where possible to redundant alternate routes, the company said. This is the third consecutive week that our customers have had their services disrupted as a result of theft and vandalism, said Keon Mitchell, communications director at Flow. These incidents are the latest in a long-standing series of theft and vandalism activities that have continued to plague our business and the tens of thousands of our customers, despite comprehensive security measures, Mitchell added. She lamented that such a deliberate action and blatant disregard by vandals of the impact of their activities on critical areas such as national security, online learning, e-commerce, and economic growth is greatly troubling. The telecom's senior executive further shared that the company had suffered more than 590 incidents of theft and vandalism of copper and fiber cables as well as other network elements in 2021. Since January 2022, the company has recorded more than 250 incidents. The company stated that it has been investing significantly to build out its fiber optic network as it brings connectivity to unserved and underserved communities across Jamaica under its Mission Connect program. Over the past 2 years, the company has connected over 500 communities to its fiber network. These latest acts of vandalism will cost the company approximately 1.5 million Jamaican dollars to restore services plus revenue losses, it said. Meanwhile, Flow is appealing to members of the public to call the police at 119 or its hotline at 876-922-HELP to report any act of vandalism, theft, arson, or any other such activities that can potentially cause disruptions in its service. Shamdawn charged with murder. Music producer Linval Thompson, otherwise called Shamdawn, has been charged with 3 counts of murder by the Major Investigations Division after he was positively identified in an identification parade. Thompson was taken into custody by the Joint Anti-Gang Task Force following an operation in St. Catherine South on June 3 after he was identified as a person of interest in the triple murder which occurred in Rose Heights, St. James on May 25. On the night in question, 5 people were shot when masked men sprayed them with bullets. 1 man died immediately after the shooting, and another 2, a man and a woman, died overnight. Thompson was recently freed of gun charges in April of this year after being arrested in October 2021. According to police reports, members of the Specialized Operations SWAT team searched a vehicle that he and another person was traveling in, and a loaded illegal firearm was found. Both men were subsequently charged and offered bail, which Thompson paid. Thompson has made a name for himself in the music industry and is the owner of Shamdawn Records. St. Catherine wanted man back in police custody. A man who absconded bail on a gun-related charge was captured by the St. Catherine South Police during an operation in Watson Grove Gregory Park in Portmore, St. Catherine on Friday. 24-year-old Javian Lawrence, otherwise called Pony, of Aries Close in the parish is back in custody. A Lorsin L380 pistol with a magazine containing 7.380 rounds of ammunition was allegedly found in his possession, the police said in a statement today. Lawrence was previously charged with illegal possession of firearm in the St. Andrew North Division, along with other offenses. The police say the operation to arrest Lawrence was conducted about 7 p.m. by a team comprised of personnel from the St. Catherine South Police Division, Specialized Operations Branch, and the Metro Quick Response Team. 2 other men were also taken into custody during the operation. However, the police say their identities are being withheld pending further investigations. 13 killed in motor vehicle crashes in 7 days, says RSU. The carnage has continued unabated on the nation's roads, with 13 fatalities recorded over the 1-week period from June 4 to 10. This is according to the latest statistics released on Friday by the Road Safety Unit. They show that the total number of people killed as a result of motor vehicle crashes since the start of the year now stands at 215, with 86% of victims being males and 14% being females. Among the latest fatalities, which include 1 female, are 6 drivers of private motor cars, 3 pedestrians, 2 motorcyclists, and 2 passengers of private motor cars. They also include the 3 alleged gunmen who died after the Nissan Latio motorcar they were traveling in crashed into a Toyota Hiace tour bus in Hanover on Sunday, June 5. The driver of the motorcar, who was reportedly trying to avoid a police checkpoint, hastily turned around the vehicle, having been alerted to the police present. In his bid to flee the area, the car crashed into the tour bus, reportedly while speeding, and all 3 men on board were pronounced dead at hospital. The police said they seized an illegal gun with several rounds of ammunition from the car. The occupants of the bus were also taken to hospital for treatment. Meanwhile, the RSU is reporting that the total of 215 fatalities recorded since January 1 resulted from 190 fatal crashes. It said fatal crashes have decreased by 1%, while fatalities increased by 1% when compared with a similar period in 2021. Overall, 3 more fatalities were recorded this year when compared to the 212 on record for the corresponding period in 2021. The statistics also show that 44 pedestrians have been killed so far this year. This is 5 more than the 39 recorded for the similar period last year. On the bright side, 17 fewer motorcyclists have been killed this year when compared to last year. Up to June 10, some 60 motorcyclists had perished in traffic crashes compared to 77 at the same time in 2021. 8 more drivers of private motor cars have been killed this year when compared to last year. 52 have died compared to 44 in 2021. Malahoo Fort tells politicians to improve their level of representation. The Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, Marlene Malahoo Fort, is imploring parliamentarians to improve the level of their representation and do right by their constituents. Our constituents are depending on all of us to do right by them. Many have no privilege of office or any connection in high places. They need every part of government with which they interact to be more responsive, more efficient, and more accountable to them, Malahoo Fort said. She was speaking recently as she made her contribution to the 2022-2023 sectorial debate in the House of Representatives. We must therefore be relentless in our representation to have a strong and effective government to better serve them, because a weak and ineffective government is easily manipulated to produce unjust and corrupt outcomes that harm the people, the minister said. The 2-term member of parliament for St. James West Central said doing right by the people includes exercising greater care in how politicians manage their campaigns when running for office. So often we give the impression that we can be all things to all men and end up relieving others of their share of responsibility for the work. Unrealistic expectations are set which cannot be met, leading to disappointment and distrust. Furthermore, we make the grave mistake in thinking that it is okay to engage in the most despicable acts and illicit activities on the campaign trail, but then expect integrity in the affairs of government when those who so engaged are put in charge of any part of the government, said Malahoo Fort. Representing St. James West Central since 2016, Malahoo Fort said her generation of political leaders must consciously eschew the evil practices done in the name of partisan politics and then deliberately practice politics in a more constructive and indubitable manner. I take my responsibility to my constituents very seriously. My style of politics is not the up-in-your-face, rambunctious style. My preference is to, without a fanfare, quietly go about the business of the people, spending time to get first-hand knowledge on what is happening on the ground and speaking with the constituents directly, said the former Attorney General. She said, "It truly irks me when I make the necessary representation to have issues addressed and then the appropriate part of government with responsibility is unresponsive or delivers substandardly. We desperately need all parts of government to work together, with each part doing its fair share of the work. What happens in one part impacts what happens in the other parts." Malahuford said it was also important for Jamaicans to understand that government is much bigger than the political directorate. The belief that the MP has the power and authority to take action to fix whatever is wrong in government is a mistaken one, because government is not a one-man show. She noted that the various ministries, departments, and agencies are staffed by administrative, professional, technical, and other officials. We sometimes forget that although the boundary lines between the political directorate on the one hand and the civil and wider public service on the other hand sometimes blur, they are in fact sharply drawn in most areas, she said. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.